process. Everything must have process. So in the decision process, we have these critical questions that come into our play. 1, what you can do. 2, what you know. Then 3, what you want. Now that gives us understanding of the decision process. What you can do, what you know, and what you want. Plays an analysis of how we do our decision or how we take actions. Now in the decision process, there are only 5 areas that are critical. Perceiving the need for decision making, determining the objectives, collection of relevant information, evaluating an alternative course of action, and finally, choosing the best alternative. Now this is where we need to have it clear. From the decision framework, the process actually emanates from this triangle, from the cycle to the triangle. We have clarified the decision, why you want to undertake particular decision, perceiving the needs for decision. Then number 2, you ask yourself, raise and sort issues. Which issues are you raising and you want to sort? Then number 3, alternative. Give alternative. Give choices. Then number 4, model the problem. Give a model for the problem. For example, we normally talk about linear programming. Y equals to A plus bx. Now, you model your problem. Give your problem a shape. Now, once you have modeled your problem, discover your problem. Then, once you've done the discovery of the information that you need, then analyze the risk attitude of what you want to analyze. That is actually the application of logical thinking. Then finally, value of information, value of new information. What is the new information adding into your decision-making process? Then followed by, check the refinement. How refinement? Have commitment to action. Check the refinement. After checking the refinement, agree on course of action. So which is the best course of action? You must agree. East or west? Home is best. You must agree which way to go. Once you've agreed on the course of action, then implement the course of action. Choose the best alternative. So this gives us the component of the decision process, all the way from perceiving the need for decision, determining the objectives, collection of relevant information, evaluating alternative course of action, and choosing the best alternative. In other words, we are saying come up with the structuring. From clarifying the decision to model the problem is all about structuring. Come up with a structure, which is all about you perceive the decision making. Then next one is actually evaluation. In the evaluation, you're using your logical thinking. Discover, risk attitude, value, or new information. In the sense that collection of relevant information. Which are these information which are useful in the process of making decisions, in the process of evaluation. Then once you're done with the evaluation, then finally, agreement. Make agreement. So check refinement, agree, and then implement. So these are processes which are followed in the decision process. So anytime you're making decisions, you are supposed to follow this process. You narrow them down into structuring, develop a structure, then using logical thinking, do evaluation, have commitment to action, that is agreement. You agree on what you are supposed to do. So this gives us the process of decision making. So anytime you're making decisions, what you can do, what you know, and what you want plays a critical role. The decision problem consists of, so when you talk about decision, so the decision problem consists of one, decision maker, responsible for making decision, has to select one form from the set of possible course of action. So decision maker is the most important element in the decision, the most important component in the decision. Who makes decision is the decision maker. How is the decision maker making decision? Act. The alternative course of action which are available to the decision maker. The problem is to choose the best course of action out of the alternative so as to achieve the objectives. So the problem here is to choose the best course of action. Out of different alternatives that you have been given, you are supposed to choose which one is the best course of action. Act means the course of action. Act means a strategy that you will employ so that you come up with the optimum solution. You are actually testing two things. You're determining the optimal solution. Now, in the determination of optimal solution, two things come into play. Are you maximizing or are you minimizing? Are you maximizing the performance, which is the profits and income? Are you minimizing the cost, expenditures? Number 3, event. It is the state of nature. Events are the occurrence which affect the achievement of the objectives. Decision makers has no control over the event which take place. So events now are the what decision makers face in the event of making decision. Out of the strategies that you have, events, the condition, the environment that you're making decision plays a critical role. Next component is the outcome. To every act in combination with every state of nature, there is outcome. To every act in combination with every state of nature, there is an outcome. So where there is input, there must be outcome. Where there is input, there must be output, also known as conditional value. When the decision maker selects a particular act under a particular state of nature, that is an outcome. What we expect is the outcome. The form of outcome entails the following. 1. Payoff. The outcome in the quantitative form when the decision maker adopts a particular strategy based on cost or time or distance. Number 2 outcome is opportunity loss, regret. The loss incurred when the decision maker failed to make the best possible decision. So opportunity loss is actually the difference between the payoff of the act, which is the actual payoff of the act, and the payoff for the best act that could have been selected. So you find out the difference between the payoff of the act, assuming that we have the payoff is 10 and the best act that could have been selected is 15. So the difference between 10 and 15 is now what you call opportunity loss. So you're losing 5 because you're actually selecting 10 instead of 15. Now that is what we call opportunity loss, regret, in the decision process, in the decision component. Decision problem. A decision problem is characterized by a decision alternative, state of nature, and resulting payoff. Now, this is a summary of what we have discussed. So the characteristics of decision is actually the alternative, which is now the action, state of nature, and resulting payoff. The decision alternative are the different possible strategies the decision maker can employ. The state of nature refers to future events, not under the control of the decision maker, which will ultimately affect the decision results. State of nature should be defined so that they are mutually exclusive and contain all possible future events that could affect the results of all potential decisions. So this gives us the composition of the decision problem. Now we look at the payoff. The consequences resulting from specific combination of decision alternative and state of nature is payoff. A table showing payoff for all combination of decision alternative and state of nature is payoff. So payoff can be expressed in terms of profit, cost, time, distance, and any other appropriate measure. Alternative state of nature, payoff, course of action or strategy, an occurrence over which decision maker has no control, quantitative measure of the outcome. Thank you. As we look, we come to the example.